Rainy day, it's alright.
I need a hat. According to ExxonMobil, the number of vehicles on the road is expected to double over the next decade to over 1.5 billion cars. Which cars will be safe to drive, and which one's a better option than the other? Throughout this speech, I'm going to show you and tell you why choosing a Ford vehicle over the other competitors is the way to go. It all started with $28,000 on June 16th in 1903 at 9:30 a.m. 12 stockholders and a man named Henry Ford met in Detroit, Michigan. The next day, official paperwork was signed, and the Ford Motor Company was officially a new corporation. According to the Ford Motor Company's website, Ford.com, Ford vehicles have been recognized numerous years in a row for their design, dependability, and overall satisfaction to the customers. Ford has also won many awards over the years, anywhere from the Car of the Year award to the Green Car award. Hopefully you will see why Ford has so many accomplishments. Many people don't realize that when they're choosing a vehicle to drive, it is very important to choose one that is safe. When it comes to your children driving, I know you all want them to be as safe as possible. Ford has recently introduced a new invention called MyKey. This allows parents to limit the speed and the audio volume to encourage teens to drive safer. This feature is now a standard on nearly all Ford and Lincoln models. Ford manufactures their vehicles to focus on the safety of their customers. In 2012, the Ford Motor Company received a 5-star rating for the Fiesta and the Fusion. There were several other runners-up receiving 4.5 stars. This is a picture of how they do their crash test. They use real human-like figures when they do their crash tests so they can see how safe it's going to be. According to Chevrolet.com, the 2012 Malibu only received a 3.5-star rating. Chevy also had no vehicles that received any 5 stars. And Chevy isn't the only manufacturer that doesn't rate well when it comes to safety. The Nissan Versa only received a 2 out of 5 stars. I know that's not a vehicle I want to be driving. This picture here shows cross traffic alert and reverse sensing system that are in the Ford vehicles. The red area is the cross traffic alert that it will alert you of. The yellow is the rear and side mirrors, and then the green is the reverse sensing system. So that's a pretty big area that it shows you. And this top one is a lane keeping assist that the vehicles now have. This is where the vehicle starts in the lane, and then this, where the number 2 is at, if the driver is started to turn and the turn signal is not used, then the system will gently steer back the vehicle into the lane if the driver doesn't respond. And this one is the collision warning with brake support. So this pink area is the area that is going to warn you of, and if you don't brake by the red area, it'll automatically brake for you so you don't get in a wreck.
I didn't know they did that.
If safety is an important factor to you when driving a vehicle, maybe dependability is more for you. Ford has the highest number of vehicles that have been both rated and voted to be more dependable. The Fusion once again was on top, followed by the Mercury Milan and Lincoln MKZ. Keep in mind both of these are also Ford products. The least reliable vehicle in 2009, according to Consumer Reports, was the Volkswagen Touareg. It was 27 more times likely to have a problem than the most reliable vehicle. And this picture on the top is a picture of the Volkswagen Touareg. And then this is a picture of the Ford Fusion, the one that's the most reliable car. Of the 51 Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln products that were surveyed, 46, or about 90%, were average or better. Chrysler wasn't even able to recommend on any of their products because they received mediocre performance and poor reliability. I think that just on safety and dependability alone, Ford seems to be a #1 in both. When I finally first buy my brand new car, I know now that I'm 100% sure it will be a Ford vehicle. Have you ever bought a new car, or even a truck? Well, let's say you take out a loan and you buy a Dodge Intrepid. Now you have $2,000 to be paid back. The car runs great for about 6 months, and then one day it dies while you're driving down the road, and it won't start. So you pull over to see what's wrong. Nothing looks like or appears to be a problem, so you wait a little bit and try to start it again. It starts this time, but with a very terrible noise coming out of the engine. Come to find out, the motor has blown just out of the blue with no sign of it ever happening. Now you're stuck in debt and without a vehicle at all. Has a story like this ever happened to you? Well, actually, the exact story did happen to me. I was only 16, and this was the first car I had ever bought. I was left at 16 years old with myself already in debt and now without a vehicle. This car was a Dodge, and you see where it got me. This could be a situation that happens to you if you don't make a smart and right decision when buying a vehicle. Needless to say, the Ford Motor Company has been a top leader in many factors when it comes to them knowing how to produce a vehicle that's dependable, safe, and that people love. I would not have been left between a rock and a hard place if I would have made a better decision myself. With Ford being in business over 100 years, I think they pretty much have it down to a T on how to produce a vehicle that is good for people. With no other single brand winning as many automotive excellence awards from popular mechanics as Ford has, they are highly recognized in automotive design, execution, and technology. Next time your old beater breaks down or you just feel like it's time to upgrade your vehicle, choose the brand that people know and love, Ford.